back to my cozy stitching corner. This is Antoinette from Smartneedle. Welcome to my channel. Today I am so excited to share this beautiful new project with you. It's called a ball full of hearts. This quilted fabric ball comes in 3 hoop sizes, which make them incredibly versatile, perfect for anything you need, depending on the ball size you choose. What makes this design extra special is the linked hearts applique, stitched all the way around the ball using blanket applique. These hearts connect to each other, creating this continuous wrap of love that just so charming. And look at them, they are beautifully puffy, soft to the touch, and have that wonderful handmade feel we all love. Honestly, they turn out very nice. Whether you're making them for Valentine's decor, gift, treats, or to organize your sewing space, these balls are as fun to stitch as they are to use. So grab your fabric, get comfy, and let's start stitching this cutie together. Okay, let's get started. Let's hoop 1 layer of tearaway stabilizer and run the first spool color over the stabilizer. Just a quick reminder, all my embroidery designs can be stitched on a single needle embroidery machine or a multi-needle embroidery machine, so everybody can stitch my embroidery designs. After the guideline has been done, we're going to cover it with 2 to 3 pieces of cotton batting. If you're doing the biggest hoop size, I would recommend between 3 to 4 layers of cotton batting. If you're doing the medium size, between 2 and 3, and if you're doing the smallest size, 2 layers will be just fine. Keep running your embroidery machine for the next spool color. It will do the tack down stitch to attach the cotton batting to the project. After the tack down line has been done, we're going to trim the cotton batting all around it. Keep running your machine for the following spool color. It will do an applique guideline as a big rectangle over the stabilizer, and then after that guideline is done, you're going to cover it with a pattern fabric of your choice. Just make sure the fabric covers the whole entire guideline. Keep running your machine for the following spool color. It will do the tack down stitch to attach that pattern fabric to the project. Now keep running your machine for the next spool color. It will do the second applique guideline as the video shows. Now it is time to prepare our applique fabric. Since we're working with blanket applique, we are going to add heat and bond to the back of our fabrics. This allows the fabric to bond to each other and help prevent fraying along the edges. Simply iron the heat and bond onto the wrong side of the fabric. Make sure you apply heat evenly and iron it really well so it adheres nicely. I always recommend ironing both sides, first from the paper side and then again from the fabric side, to make sure the heat and bond melts properly and bonds beautifully to the fabric. Now it is time to cover the whole applique guideline with your heat and bond fabric. Just make sure you remove the paper backing from the heat and bond before laying it down. Now keep running your machine for the following spool color. It will do the tack down stitch to attach the heat and bond fabric to the project. After the tack down line has been done, we're going to trim the heat and bond fabric all around it. Now just keep your machine running for the next spool color. This is when the quilting pattern starts stitching, and you'll see these beautiful heart shapes forming right next to each other. They are really cute, and they add so much texture and charm to the bowl. This step is what gives the project that soft puffy quilted look we all love. Keep running your machine for the following spool color. It will do the blanket applique stitch all around the top edge of the heat and bond applique fabric. The next spool color will start stitching the linked hearts applique. For this step, I really recommend choosing 2 different fabrics with good contrast. That way, when the hearts links together, you can really see the connection. It makes the design pop and looks so pretty. Now go ahead and run the next spool color so it will do the first applique guidelines. As a lot of you already know me, I always overcut my applique fabrics. I never measure them. This allows me to keep my heat and bond leftovers for future projects, which save me time and money. I organize them by color shade in this folder. It is just a simple 3-ring binder with plastic envelopes. I highly recommend building one little by little because it allows you to easily mix and match fabrics that are already prepped and ready to use for future projects. As you can see, my linked hearts are going to be in pink shade. So I'm trying to pick from my folder 2 pink colors that have contrasts to each other. So let's see what can I find here. Okay, let's start covering those applique guidelines with a piece of fabric of your choice. Just make sure you remove the paper backing from the heat and bond before placing them down. Keep running your embroidery machine for the following spool color. It will do the tack down stitch to attach those pieces of fabric to the project. After the tack down lines has been done, we're going to trim all around it. The following spool color will start stitch the blanket applique all around the edges of those applique fabrics. Keep running your machine for the following spool color. It will start stitching the next applique guidelines as the video shows. Okay, let's start covering those applique guidelines with a piece of fabric of your choice. Just make sure you remove the paper backing from the heat and bond before placing them down. Keep running your embroidery machine for the following spool color. It will do the tack down stitch to attach those pieces of fabric to the project. After the tack down lines has been done, we're going to trim all around it. The following spool color will start stitch the blanket applique all around the edges of those applique fabrics. Keep running your machine for the following spool color. It will start stitching the next applique guidelines as the video shows. Okay, let's start covering those applique guidelines with a piece of fabric of your choice. Just make sure you remove the paper backing from the heat and bond before placing them down. Keep running your embroidery machine for the following spool color. It will do the tack down stitch to attach those pieces of fabric to the project. After the tack down lines has been done, we're going to trim all around it. The following spool color will start stitch the blanket applique all around the edges of those applique fabrics. Keep running your machine for the following spool color. It will start stitching the next applique guidelines as the video shows. Okay, let's start covering those applique guidelines with a piece of fabric of your choice. Just make sure you remove the paper backing from the heat and bond before placing them down. Keep running your embroidery machine for the following spool color. It will do the tack down stitch to attach those pieces of fabric to the project. After the tack down lines has been done, we're going to trim all around it. The following spool color will start stitch the blanket applique all around the edges of those applique fabrics. The following spool color will stitch 2 square marks. We are going to cut this later on, so just let the machine run and let it place those marks for us. Now cut a piece of pattern fabric of your choice, large enough to cover the entire project. This fabric will become the lining of your bowl. Place it down with the wrong side of the fabric facing you, getting it ready for the next stitch step. Now keep running your machine for the last spool color. It will do a single straight line stitch to attach all those fabrics together. Now it is time to unhook our project and tear away all the stabilizer. Then all the fabric that is around the project, we're going to cut it, leaving about 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now we're going to iron the whole project so the heat and bond can attach all the fabrics together. And also we're going to iron the middle seams as the video shows. Now it is the time to cut the 2 square marks that we did earlier with your scissor. Okay, as you can see, our first panel is done. Very cute and simple. Now just repeat the same process twice, so you ended up with 2 panels that are exactly the same. Now we're going to open both panels and place them right side facing each other. Align the center stitch, then add sewing clips to hold everything in place. Keep adding clips all the way around the bowl so the two pieces stay perfectly aligned and don't move while we sew. Now we are going to sew two straight lines, just like you see in the video. You can do this by hand or with your sewing machine, leaving 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now we're going to sew one more straight line, just like you see in the video. You can do this by hand or with your sewing machine, leaving 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now that our 3 straight stitch lines are done, we're going to make 2 small marks using a fabric marker, about 1 inch long each of them, just like you see in the video. Leave the center area unmarked. This will be our opening, so we can turn the entire project inside out later. Now stitch along those 2 marked lines, either by hand or with your sewing machine, just as I'm showing you in the video. Now we're going to take the 4 corners and open the panels at each corner so we can sew them together. Use sewing clips to hold everything in place, just like you see in the video. Then sew them by hand or with your sewing machine. You'll be stitching 4 straight lines, leaving 1/4 inch seam allowance in each of the corners. Here, as you can see, I'm pointing with the 4 corners that you're going to sew. Stitch straight lines on each of them, leaving 1/4 inch seam allowance every time. Now that my 4 corners has been stitched, it's time to open it up and turn the whole project inside out. Now make sure you shape the entire ball really well, pushing those corners out nicely. Then iron all the edges of the ball just like you see in the video. Once everything is pressed and shaped, we're going to close the opening that we used to turn it inside out, either by hand or with your sewing machine. Look how beautiful these turn out. As you can see, all the heart shapes applique are linked to each other, even right across the seams join. You can even tell where the join is. It blends perfectly and it's just so beautiful. Here I'm showing you the 3 different sizes, each one stitched in completely different fabrics. This really lets you see how much the look of the balls can change depending on your fabric colors, prints and combinations. Even though the design is the same, each ball has its own personality. Some feel playful, some feel soft and romantic, and others feel bold and fun. That's what I love so much about this project. You can use your scraps, mix and match fabrics, and end up with balls that look totally unique every single time. Now it is time for our sweepstake giveaway. I am so happy about this one. I'm giving away a Pin Porcupine bobbin holder with 6 white embroidery bobbins included, a tube of 12 bright color embroidery bobbins from Smartneedle, and a package of bright pattern fabrics. Beautiful combination that will be perfect for stitching your bow full of hearts. Sweepstakes rules. To enter, please leave a comment below, subscribe to my channel, turn notifications on so you will know who's the winner because it might be you. Open to US only, sweepstake end on January 15, and winner will be announced in future videos. YouTube is not responsible or affiliated with this giveaway. Good luck everyone and thank you so much for participating. This view highlights the soft quilted texture of the bowl and how the hearts applique create a beautiful rhythm and it flows around the entire shape. A closer look shows how clean and seamless the construction is, with the hearts staying perfectly aligned so the design looks continuously unpolished. If you enjoy stitching along with me today and love this project, please give this video a thumbs up. It truly helped my channel so I can keep creating beautiful embroidery projects for all of you to enjoy. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you right here for our next stitching adventure.